Let's now move forward. So what does a modern marketer do? I would like to show you a couple of job advertisings and see actually what is included as part of their requirements. So for example, if you wanted to apply for Director Field Marketing and work in Oracle, I've tried to highlight whatever things you would have to do that are related to measuring marketing performance. So you will constantly analyze the return on investment of campaigns to achieve optimal pipeline results. You will have to optimize a marketing budget, monitor, analyze, and report on performance of each campaign. Check lead quality. So you can see that great chunk of what you will be doing is to do with marketing performance. So not convinced yet? Let's have a look at other job advertising. There is even a role called Performance Marketing Manager. Analyze performance of campaigns, optimize campaigns, optimize campaigns. Another job ad, Global Marketing Manager, prepare and document all marketing expenditure. You will have to measure return on investment and so on. So you can, in fact, you can, the more job ads you revise in measuring marketing performance, and the higher the salary, the higher the position, and the more focus there is on showing your ability as like really showing your numerical ability. Have a look yourself. So also I thought I will add a little bit more about what do consultants do. So perhaps you've heard about big companies such as Accenture, McKinsey, and the rest. So for example, those companies, they have established long practices in measuring marketing performance, and they provide all sort of tools and dashboards and scorecards and all these sexy tools to enable companies to approve the marketing expenses. So for example, Accenture, they launched Accenture Interactive in 2009 and with the purpose to enhance marketing performance. So they were saying, I found some information about the clients, so they were saying that Accenture Interactive was working with the world's largest brands of over $12 billion in annual marketing spend, often optimizing over $1 billion for individual client. So far we had like around 500 or something clients that they provided these solutions to, and more than 50% of them were from Fortune 50. Some of the largest companies include Walmart and Costco. Key clients, American Express, Sony, also Procter & Gamble. And their technology is actually called Accenture Agile Marketing Analytics Platform. So if you were interested, you can go on their website and explore a little bit more about it. Obviously, they won't show you the algorithms, but they do show you kind of a good amount of information about this. Now, you also have McKinsey and Company. So they have even their Consumer Marketing Analytics Center. So again, they have even kind of establishment within their organization that shows just how important all this measuring marketing performance is to them. However, guys, if you do work for a large company, don't worry about measuring marketing performance because consultants will do for you. But obviously, these consultants will charge a very high fee for doing that. So even though the consultants would be doing the work, you would still have to talk the same language and understand what they're doing. Now, what kind of methods they use, it depends from situation to situation, but they say they have tools and devices and techniques designed to cope with very large data. So they have their analytic tools inside them and different expertise as well. So when you measure marketing performance, you really have two areas to consider, and that's when we are kind of getting down more to the meat. So the first one is measuring return on marketing, and the second one is calculating marketing costs. Calculation of marketing costs is important in measuring marketing performance because you want to be able to extract how much things cost to you. Also here in the box you can see we're no longer spending on marketing, we are now investing in marketing. 69% respondents think that business owners currently view marketing as a revenue driver. So this will never be true for accounting purposes, because in terms of accounting, it states very clearly that it can never be seen as an investment. However, from a more mindset perspective and philosophy perspective, we see marketing as an investment. And I think this is a good and very positive step forward. So broadly, you can classify marketing metrics in three broad ranges: financial, non-financial, and hybrid. If you look into the Brooks and Simpkins paper that I have suggested you to read, they classify into four different classes. So they have, I think, quantitative, qualitative, financial, and hybrid, or similar. However, I kind of have like slightly different view on this, and I think quantitative, financial are very similar. So basically, classification is based financial, non-financial, and hybrid, the ones that combine the two. What Brooks and Simpkins say, the trend toward multidimensional measures has arguably been wonderful for researchers and horrible for consultants. Figuring out which of many measures to use are really important, and which are really important may drive a manager to despair. So in their paper, we saw around 250 different metrics. How can you even think on earth about which ones to use? We start with financial metrics. There are quite a few different options available. Return on marketing investment, which is one of the leading metrics really, and there are a couple of books published around this. Some would think it's easy to calculate, others would say it's difficult, but actually there are different types of return on marketing investment that you can calculate, because you can choose different elements, you express them differently, and so forth. So the focus of this lecture is really on measuring return on marketing, so trying to see how this ROMI metric works. You have also discounted cash flow, where you look more into the future kind of income and you discount them and you try to derive at some figures. You look into brand valuation, which is very important metric. In particular, the companies doing brand valuation reports such as Interbrand or Millward and Brown, which are two really leading companies in doing that. They use amalgamation of different metrics, financial, non-financial, and so on. There is customer lifetime value, and some argue that this is in fact the most important measure. And this is when you try to calculate the net value the customer would bring you through the whole life. That's why when you go on Google, sometimes there is this an icon ad. So companies such as like financial services providers, insurance providers, they pay a lot per click because the customer lifetime value is so actually big. You have economic value added, market share, customer loyalty, and price premium. So these are kind of few examples among the most important metrics which fall under the financial category. As mentioned, we will focus on return on investment. However, you are welcome to explore more of them, and obviously for your assignment as well, you could show an understanding of different metrics, how to use them. Apologies. Marketing metrics, non-financial. So among few examples, there is perceived quality. So this is more soft measure, how customers see the quality of the product or services. Customer satisfaction, again, a metric which is very popular to see whether customers are satisfied with your products. However, as we were talking about the fact that there are so many companies today that can deliver great customer satisfaction, it's no longer a case about satisfying or not the customers, but maybe delighting or doing things better than others. And brand awareness might be another measure for non-financial. Again, just a few examples from that category. You may wonder what hybrid is. So it can be brand equity, it can be customer equity. Some people would say these are very similar or the same. So brand equity, you can use brand awareness, perceived quality, brand loyalty. So this is kind of amalgamation of financial and non-financial metrics, because it does involve quite a few other metrics inside. So let's kind of try and contrast financial versus non-financial metrics. So generally, financial metrics are the ones that are preferred by most of the company's CFOs. However, one would argue that they might be quite limited in trying to truly measure marketing, because marketing is so complex, so intangible, and you really need non-financial metrics to really understand your marketing. However, many organizations speak financial in their common language, and finance is really the language of numbers. So it's unsurprising that there is a predominance of metrics that express themselves either financially or numerically. And for marketers to opt out of this would be confusing and even might be seen as manipulative. And finally, the third one is when you use both financial and non-financial metrics. I found some interesting research to share with you, and this is what finance directors really want from marketeers. So finance decision makers' goals in working with marketeers, based on November 2016. The question was, what are your top objectives when it comes to working with marketing team regarding their goals and objectives? So among the top three were measuring the effectiveness of marketing and achieving financial driven goals. So they were saying that the most important thing they want from marketeers is to be able to prove their value. They say we want many more things, but this is the key. Number two was better connecting marketing with sales forecasting process to help build the pipeline. And number three, making marketing more accountable for building valid business cases to support its budget. So again, to prove the budget. So they're kind of similar, but the number one was really measuring the effectiveness in achieving financial driven goals. So being able to prove that marketing has contributed that much to the profitability. So let's look into return on marketing investment, what exactly it is. So this is return on marketing investment, where we try and kind of subtract what was the contribution made by return of marketing. And actually, the ROMI concept is relatively young, because it first came into prominence in the 1990s. And when the phrase return on marketing investment became more widespread in the next decade, following the publication of two books. One of them is called Return on Marketing Investment by Guy Powell, published in 2002, and another one is Marketing ROI by James Lenskov, published in 2003. So return on marketing investment is the contribution to profit attributable to marketing, just marketing, divided by the marketing invested or risked. So return on marketing investment is not like other return on investment metrics, because marketing is not the same kind of investment. And the purpose is really to measure the degree to which investment on marketing contributed to profitability. In various of different surveys and research that was done previously, a lot of senior managers in organizations find a return on investment marketing a ROI metric to be among the most important metrics that they would want to use and to see when marketing tries to prove their return. So we will start looking into ROMI formulas, and this one might look slightly complicated, but it's not as complicated as it looks, I promise. So you can see on the top, you have net income, profit or cash flow obtained from investment in marketing, and minus income, profit or cash flow obtained without investment into marketing. So the first one, really, how much did we earn in total when we invested in marketing? Say your profitability was £1 million, and we deduct what we would have gained without investment. So say before we used marketing activities, it was 1 million. So 1.2 million minus 1 million, that would give you this data. And then you divide by the investment. And let's look into more simplified formula now.